Happy Sunday, everybody. Steve here, sitting here in San Francisco. I was sat for a week in Charlotte. Never got called. Did a lot of sitting around. Did a lot of reading. Did a little bit of writing. Just trying to mess around a little bit. Writing some short stories, and watch a lot of TV. But I flew out today to San Francisco. I'm sitting here now, and it's nice out here. It's cool. It's not as cold as Charlotte was, but it's pretty nice here in San Francisco. And turning around tomorrow morning and flying out back east. So I'm actually going to be flying now. So, anywho, I want to talk this morning. Like I said, I've been working my way through Exodus. And I was in Exodus 32. I was reading this morning, and basically it was the story of Moses had gone up on God had called him up the mountain, and he took along Joshua to as his helper. Went up the mountain, and of course the mountain, I could just imagine. I mean, the mountain was up there; it was just swirling with clouds, and God was laying out all his plans for the sanctuary, for the tent of meeting, and all the procedures, the law, all the things that the Hebrews would worship God, how they would worship God, and of course the Ten Commandments, he had written those out and on the tablets and all. Of course, while he's up there, the people are going, man, it's been a long time that I love this, what it says here, this in the first verse, when the people saw that Moses was so long coming down from the mountain, they gathered around Aaron and said, come, make us gods, or God, who will go before us. As for this fellow Moses who brought us up out of Egypt, we don't know what's happened to him. It's like all of the things, this is the thing that just blows me away. All of the things that God had done, they all saw it. They all saw all of the wonders and all of the plagues that God brought on Egypt, the frogs, the blood, the hail, all of that. They saw all of that, and just like God said, it's coming. Here it is. And they left, and the Red Sea parting, and all of this. And still, I mean, he's up on the mountain 40 days. I don't know how long it was. 40 days. A lot of times I've heard when they say 40 days, it means that we don't know. It was a long time. So he's up there, and they go, make us a god. Now, as I'm reading this, I mean, it kind of makes it sound like they wanted to make some sort of physical representation of God so that they could look at it and worship that, in place of God. And not like, hey, a calf saved us, but here's a golden calf is what, represents God, and not to justify anything. It's not. It's just I was always. They wanted to look at something to say, okay, that allows me to wrap my mind around God, which God specifically said don't do. I think that was the second commandment: don't make any graven image like that. So they do this, and God's up there and he's talking to Moses, and he goes in verse 9. He says, I've seen these people, the Lord said to Moses, and they are stiff-necked people. Now leave me alone so that my anger may burn against them and that I may destroy them. Then I will make you into a great nation, which I think I've talked about this before, but I mean, that was a pivotal point. That was a point where God was like, I'm going to kill them all and start over with you. And instead of Jacob, everybody's going to come from you. And Moses, of course, sought the favor of the Lord, and he pleaded and said, no, I mean, think about, what people say, that you took them all out and to take them out of the desert and kill them all. And the Lord relented. But, Moses, it says in Numbers 10 that Moses was a very humble man and one of the most humble on earth. And and that shows. I mean, God called him to go down to Egypt to do this, and I mean, he didn't even really want to go. He was like, who am I? I said, I can't speak. Send somebody else. He goes, no, you're going. And I think it was because of that, because he was so humble, that God was able to use him. God, said, my first off, my strength will be revealed through you, through your weakness. And I think that's the way God works. And he helps us overcome. He helps us do these things, and he chooses. I mean, Jesus said that. I mean, he thanked God for revealing things to the simple, and confounding the wise. And what is it about that? What is it about humbleness that God can use? And I try to balance that with ambition, and because I'm a fairly ambitious guy, and I've always have been, and I've always had vision, of here's what I want to do, here's what I want to be, and I'm a very goal oriented person, and I move towards these goals. But it got me rocked back a little bit, going, well, I mean, is that, because all this just kind of came to Moses, and I think, I think, I think over the years I've come to realize, I mean, there's nothing wrong with ambition, and especially if it's in the right place, if it's ambition that I want to serve you, Lord, in the best way. I want to do the things that you want to do. This is what I would like to do, but I'm humble enough to say, your will, not mine. And I mean, because Jesus even said that. He prayed that. He goes, if you would, I would have this cup pass from me, but not my will be done, but yours. I mean, and I think in the end, Jesus knew what had to be done. But I mean, just the thought of it was so onerous to him, and he bled blood, or he bleed blood. Blood came out of his skin. He was in such turmoil. But I think that when you're humble enough, and when you're at peace about where God puts you in His life, and I remember, coming up, there was one particular point, one assignment. I was coming up for I've been doing really well in this one assignment, and I wanted to go to this particular job in the wing, and it was fairly prestigious. It was a Stanival. It was like one of the head pilots, kind of set the standards for flying and evaluating and all that at the group level, and that's what I wanted to do, and I had talked with my commander about it, and I'm like, well, this is what I'd like to do, and I'd prayed about it, and this was going to set me up nice, because I was planning to get out of the Air Force back then in 2003, and that was my plan. That's what I wanted to do, and I was kind of working towards that, and they were kind of grooming me for that, and I get called in, and the boss was like, hey, look, the group commander was having a big problem with this one office, and needed somebody to come in to that had here's a mandate to fix things because it's broke. And but it was a Stanival, and it was current ops, which is like scheduling for the group. And I was like, it's an office job. There's no flying, And I prayed about it, and I mean, it was an opportunity, and I'm like, oh, Lord, I mean, my commander at the time was a Christian too, and we prayed together about it, and he said, I think this is going to be good for you, and just pray about it and all, and talk about it, and let me know. And I went home, and Arlene and I prayed, and we talked about it, and I came back and said, yeah, I'll do it. And I think that's and it worked out great for me. I mean, it was better than if I had done that other job. It opened up so many opportunities for me, and and the things that I got to do after that, and set me up nice, ended up being the best thing that could have happened to me. And I mean, I could have fought it. I mean, my ambition, I could have fought it, and no, I want this, and I don't want to do that because I'm planning to get out anyway. But I look back and I'm going, I was humble enough to to open enough to God's leading, to pray and ask and have the Lord, move me the direction He was going to go. Anyway, that's some stuff from my own life that's how I kind of wrap my mind around this, and how humbled Moses was, and how open he was, and the fact that he was like, he an really ambitious to a fault person would have said, "Go ahead, Lord, kill them, because they're stiff-necked people," and it would have been a whole lot easier for Moses to just start over with his little family, and start all over again, and I don't know where they would have went, but but that isn't what the Lord had planned. So anyway, I hope this was helpful and a blessing, and I appreciate all the kind comments everybody's left, and all. And I do want to keep doing these, and I hope it was a blessing to you. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below, and I appreciate you all, and I hope you're all having a Merry Christmas and a nice holidays, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.